So we're sitting down here with Happy at Verizon Theater, ESL Pro League Finals. What's your assessment? How would you judge your guys' performance?
I think we did as usual, but just way better. We have that problem of consistency that developed really early in the team, where we can make really good results, especially online, and then we can crumble on some maybe weaker team. Not saying that Liquid were a bad team, but I felt that we were supposed to be having more robustness and being stronger overall. So I'm guessing that it's a good event for us because it was a big event. We were in the group of death, and we managed to get pretty big wins on really good teams that are now in the semifinals, like Liquid and SK. So,
and for the most part, your results, in no offense, was kind of a surprise to a lot of people. A lot of people they slot you guys as, after the French Shuffle, people kind of look at G2 and say they won the French Shuffle. How does EnVyUs, where do you guys sit on that post-French Shuffle? You obviously hear the talk about that. What do you say about that?
At least I don't really care about it because when we got together, we tried a few scrims and stuff, and I felt almost instantly that lineup would do some real good damage if we actually work and have a common objective and a common views on the game. And I think people got surprised, but our results online, especially in practice and on qualifying for ESL Pro League also.
Yeah, you made it here.
Yeah, so we knew that it was coming. We didn't know when or where, but we knew that someday we will do a big boom and we'll beat really good teams. And
when it clicks,
yeah, exactly. We just needed a click, and I think we got it at this event when we beat Clone9. It was the first ever match we won on an offline tournament. So we just felt that, okay, everything is possible now. We have to win everything, and we did.
Coming from where you guys have with the new team that you have now, y'all brought a lot of experience in. Somebody like Sixer, who was a 1.6 legend, RPK. These guys bring a lot of experience to your team. How has that transition been with the new team and maybe seeing the game from a different perspective or having new strategies going into the matches?
I think for Sixer, one of the best things that ever happened to him is actually the French Shuffle, because before in EnVyUs there was Kenny S, and obviously he's gonna get the AWP.
Right.
But now that Sixer is our primary AWP, he can show that he's a really good AWPer and is overall a really consistent player. And as you said, he brings a lot of experience and calm in the team, and his views, especially from the 1.6 era that he played on, are very valuable to our team.
Looking at the way ESL is set up, you have your 6 teams from NA, your 6 teams from EU. Obviously, you guys even just making it to the big tournament, I think speaks volumes for your team and the growth and success you guys can see going forward. How do you feel about the format? Because obviously everybody knows the EU side is much stronger, and there's no denying the talent that's on this event. You have teams like Astralis and FaZe, who I believe you guys tied with both of them and had the tiebreaker to get in. How do you feel about the formatting about the ESL event and Pro League in general?
Okay, so that's a deep question because you have to talk about the online season, which is a mess. Every time it's a brawl, you never know until the very end who is going to qualify and what match actually will fuck you up or something. But going back to the 6-6 slots thing, I think a lot of pro players from EU actually think that it would be way much better if we had, for example, 7 slots. A 7-5 format is, for me at least, a really fair format, and I think that ESL might consider it after so many seasons.
Having, like you said, the online tournament and now transitioning into being on stage, how do you guys approach a league play match versus maybe an event such as this where you're playing to get onto the grand stage? What is the preparation like during the season, really, versus going to big LAN events?
it's really different from what I'm used to, but I understand the league qualification and stuff. But it's really hard. Sorry, it's really hard because when you play a game, sometimes you play decently, but you're not like 100% focused sometimes, and that lose might come back and beat you in the ass because it was the game to win to get the 1 point that will actually qualify you. So, it falls down to the team and the players to be 100% committed to the league, and I think we can, for example, for EnVyUs, we could have done way better if we prepared better, if we work harder, and if we were just more focused.
Is it fair to say that teams in general, not necessarily just EnVyUs, but just, I don't want to point any fingers, but like Virtus Pro, where it's pretty clear that they just don't take the online portion as serious. Is it a care level? Is it just a mindset when you're online? It doesn't feel like, hey, this game matters as much?
So Virtus Pro is definitely an exception, like amongst any other top teams.
They're like top team on LAN, and then online it's just...
So it's obviously like a really specific subject about VP because actually they're good on LAN, but recently they have been trashed by anyone. And I don't know if it's because they don't care anymore. I don't know if it's because online, they know they are bad online, right? So maybe it builds like a system when they play online leagues where they think to themselves, okay, we are trash online, so we are not going to be able to make it. So I actually don't know. Like, no one can really know what's going on in this team, but maybe it's a bit of the mentality.
Last thing I want to ask you. You had the most, or one of the most iconic plays in CSGO history, right? And we all know it's the banana play where they're coming up. How does it feel to kind of to have that with you forever, knowing that that's going to be a play that's shown in highlight reels 2 years from now, 5 years from now, as long as CSGO is around? What does that feel like from an outside person looking in? How neat is that experience to have that play underneath your belt?
Well, obviously it's all about the ego, right?
Yeah.
You feel really good. You can watch yourself like 100 times in 100 different videos. But I think for me that play is not like my best career moment in my career. But it was really nice because I did that and we actually won the final against TSM. So it adds a little bit of
value to the
proud.
Yeah.
Like I was proud of that because we actually managed to beat them.
Yeah. Well, I think I've seen the play 100 times myself. So.
One last thing here, like we said, we are a podcast. No one can really see us, right? If I could just get your audio autograph, it's just a liner. Basically, if you can say, hey, this is Happy from EnVyUs, and you're listening to the Center Ring or TCR, whatever you want to do.
Okay. Hello, this is Happy from Team EnVyUs, and you are listening to TCR.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you, Happy.
So much.
Good luck.
Really appreciate the time.